Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome to another crafty decor adventure. Olivia with Olivia's from Tech Home, and in today's video I am over the moon excited to share with you some DIY, Dollar Tree, and budget-friendly decor crafts. So this is another episode in my huge I Love Christmas series. I love to share with you guys how you can make your homes boutique gorgeous on a budget. And if you need to binge watch some crafting and decorating on a budget for every single holiday, check out my YouTube channel. You guys, I have so many ideas for you, and catch up with the rest of this I Love Christmas series. I'm gonna link it for you guys in the playlist down below. I'm also giving away a $100 Hobby Lobby gift card, so don't forget to check the details in the description box for that as well. Hey, listen, no matter where you're at, I think crafting and decorating is so good for your heart and soul. So I want to encourage you guys to keep up the good work, putting one foot in front of the other. And without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. For the first Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with y'all how to make a super adorable plunger Christmas tree. Okay, so from the Dollar Tree, grab one of their plungers, and then you're going to take just some burlap or any color of ribbon to wrap the handle of your plunger end. So you're going to hot glue it at the top and give it a little wrap, and then give it another little squirt of hot glue, and just continue to wrap that handle with some type of ribbon or fabric, or I'm using this burlap. So then once you have that done, you can go ahead and hot glue the base of it. And actually, if you're able to get that Dollar Tree sticker off, you could probably maybe just leave the wooden part as is, but I do like to go ahead and cover mine just kind of for decor purposes. You're going to flip your plunger inside out and then plunge it down into one of those Dollar Tree buckets. And then I have just this kind of like junky box of stuff left over from this summer. It's kind of like rocks and seashells mixed together. I'm going to pop this into the base of my plunger. Don't laugh at me, you guys, but I do like to repurpose and reuse. The next thing I'm going to do is grab a couple of the Dollar Tree Christmas trees. These are just the little mini trees, and I'm using two of them, and I'm hot gluing them and kind of holding them up to the top base part of this plunger. It is easy to lay this down and then zip tie it all together, but for video purpose, so you guys can see what I'm doing, I am standing up with this. I added one more inside of that zip tie, and then I'm just going to hot glue and zip tie them onto the top part of the plunger. They're a little bit weebly wobbly as is, so we're going to really just safety these up by adding in a couple more zip ties. I'm a safety girl, and I want to make sure that nothing flops off. I ended up using 3 of the zip ties, and I think last year I just hot glued them, and let me tell you, one of you guys suggested that I use the zip ties, and it worked so much better. The next thing you want to do is a fluffy duffy out your Christmas tree, and there's my awkward mom dancing. I know you guys love it when I do that. So just take and really fluffy out the Christmas tree, and you can even kind of work some of the branches into the other branches as you go. Now, once I really fluffied out my branches, I did want to cover up the part where I had zip tied, so I did just go ahead and wrap some more of those branches with some of this burlap. Now, hindsight 2020, I could have just wrapped this once I had gotten to this point. Okay, so you guys don't have to wrap it and then rewrap it. But hey, you guys, I craft as I go and I share my ideas with you, so just roll with it and learn from me. The next thing I did was go ahead and take some of this greenery. I popped it off of the stems, and then you can see that I'm just hot gluing it and then popping it into a little Christmas tree. Now, this is totally extra. You guys don't really have to do this part, but I do think it makes it look kind of special. And this is just some of that Dollar Tree greenery. I love this like sparkly kind of furnished greenery that they have out for the holidays. I think it's really nice. It looks really high end. So I did use 2 bundles of the greenery and then 3 trees total. But these are great for centerpieces, you guys. The plunger tree centerpiece is kind of my claim to fame, I guess, for every holiday. I like to do a fall one and a Christmas one. I think I even did an Easter one last year. Now I'm using some of these Dollar Tree just little ornaments, and I'm going to hot glue them into the tree just to give it some zhuzh up. And kind of like at this point in time, you guys could totally stop. But you guys know me, I kind of like to go over the top and pretty much use everything that's in my crafting arsenal. That's personally how I love to do it. Now take some ribbon and fold it over on itself and make a cute little bow if you so choose. Again, you could stop wherever you want at any point, depending on the supplies you have on hand and the budget that you want to do for it. But I'm just going to pop this cute little bow. Again, this is some Dollar Tree ribbon, and this was from the fall season. It is wired, so that does help your ribbon stand up really nice. Now fluffy duffy out your ribbon and give it a little zhuzh up. That will help make it really cute. You can add add some tails to the side and kind of float them down the side of this. I think this is something that's really cute and you would see, you know, in a high-end boutique, and you guys can really customize this to suit whatever decor you love. So if you're doing glam, you could do some white trees with some glam gold ribbon. You guys can change up this ribbon, honestly, however you love it. And again, stop or keep going, keep adding goodies and just make it look really fabulous. And I do love to zhuzh some of that ribbon. This is more Dollar Tree ribbon. Here's one of those little cute Dollar Tree gnomes. I popped him into the top, and then to cover up my craziness in the bottom that is waiting, my centerpiece down here, I'm adding in some Dollar Tree reindeer moss, and then the leftover bits and bobs of ribbon that I do have, I'm just going to kind of pop them into the base. And excuse my workstation, but hey, it gets kind of crazy in my Christmas crafting studio this time of year. So I'm going to zhuzh up some more ribbon here. So just add a dibble dabble of hot glue, and then you can just kind of zhuzh your ribbon to the side, add more ribbon. And again, that was just pretty much everything that I had left in my crafting arsenal. And then I think I added like a little bauble to the base of it, and even a couple of little stems of some of the leftover greenery and red berries that I popped into there. But again, you guys really customize this. I think it came out so fabulous, and these are so fun to use next to your mantle, in a centerpiece, wherever you kind of need that little extra bit of goodness. These would be great to give to a neighbor. So just have fun with it, get creative, and go for it. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I'm so excited to share with you guys how to make a Dollar Tree gnome. Okay, so you're going to take a cone. These are the cones from Dollar Tree, and then some yarn. It's best to use some of that chunky, fluffy yarn, but I didn't really have that, and I was using yarn from the Dollar Tree. So what I'm going to do is I just took the yarn and looped it over on itself a couple of times, bundled it together, and then hot glued it to the base of my cone. And I left about an inch or so at the top of my cone. You don't have to go all the way up because we're going to use a sock for our little gnome hat. So again, what I'm doing with this yarn is I'm taking it and just looping it over on itself until I get a nice little bundle in my hand. The other thing you guys can use for this part of the project is, if you don't have the yarn, you could use one of those Dollar Tree mop heads. But just basically anything that you can use to give your gnome a beard. You could even use some of that like little white fluffy fur that you can get at the craft store. But again, we're using Dollar Tree supplies, so here we go. So you're going to continue to make little yarn bundles and glue them around. Now try not to use tons and tons of hot glue on that styrofoam. It will melt. So you just want to use a dibble dabble and then keep moving around it and make your beard as full as you want it. But again, the reason I'm bundling my yarn is that way I'm only hot gluing one little spot instead of tons and tons and tons of pieces of yarn. And if you guys are able to find the chunky yarn, which is super easy to find at your local craft store, use that. But again, I am really trying to dig into my craft stash. You guys, my craft closet is overflowing with goodies, and it's so much easier for me to go into the craft store and buy more supplies. It's a lot harder to force myself to use what I have. Comment down below if you guys are there with me and you're trying to use what you have as well. Now, the next thing you want to do is take one of those little Dollar Tree socks, and I'm just taking the little lip of the sock and I kind of just pulled it under and then popped it onto my little gnome. And then you can bundle the top part of the sock right here, and I'm using a twist tie, but I know you could also use like a little mini hairband. That would work as well. And then kind of just bend your little top part of your sock over. You can use a little wooden bead or a little fluffy white ball to create a gnome nose. And these are just some beads that I found on Amazon. They come in a giant pack for like 12 bucks. Super great deal if you love to craft with beads. And then I'm going to take the end of this sock and just hot glue the ends together, and then add a little pom-pom to kind of just zhuzh my gnome up. This is probably one of the absolute easiest gnomes I have ever done. So if you guys are inspired and you want to sit down with your kiddos or your grandkids, I think this is a super fun project. Just be careful when you're helping them with the glue or when you're gluing as well, because I did get quite a bit of glue on my nails. But I thought this was a fun idea if you guys are totally crushing on those superstar gnomes this season, which they're out and about. If you love them, I fell in love with them a couple of years ago, and now I honestly can't stop. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you all how to make a Dollar Tree Christmas tree centerpiece. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the Dollar Tree boxes and then another box and stack it on top of the first box. This is not necessary, but I thought it would just give it a little bit of height and dimension. And I really love the Noel box with the candy cane around it. I thought that would make our little base centerpiece so cute. Now I hot glued a piece of styrofoam into the center of my second box, and now I'm going to take one of those little Dollar Tree white tabletop or Christmas trees, and I fluffy duffied it out, and then I just pushed it into the center of my foam, and then I'm going to take another one of these and fluffy duffy it out as well, and then push it in right next to that first one. And then what you'll want to do is kind of take the tops of your trees and just kind of twist tie them together and kind of zhuzh them about just a little bit, but this is going to be pretty covered so don't worry too much about that. The next thing I'm doing is I'm going to use 2 rolls of Dollar Tree mesh, and I'm going to take the mesh, I'm going to cut it in about 10 to 12 inch pieces, and as you guys can see, I'm just taking those pieces, bundle 3 of them together, take your tree branches and just cross the tree branches over on themselves, and boom, you guys have a fun little tabletop or tree centerpiece. These are so great for offices or small spaces or your kiddos' room. Again, just take 3 of those little pieces of mesh, bundle them together, and pop them into the tree. Now, the mesh part, honestly, is totally extra, but it's because I love to go extra, and I love things to be fluffy, fluffy, fluffy. If you can't find mesh at the Dollar Tree, do not fear. You guys can go to Hobby Lobby, grab some mesh, whatever works. Okay, so we're going to keep going with the mesh, pop it into that tree, make it fabulous, fluff it around, do your deal, so be it. Then I'm going to take some of this Dollar Tree tubing, and I have been using a lot more of the tubing than usual, but you just take the tubing and loop it over on itself till you make a fun little bow. It's going to look a little crazy. I honestly thought this could be a Grinch tree if you wanted to make it into a Grinch tree just because of the colors. I don't usually use a lot of the green, but hey, we're going to go for it and do something a little different this year. Now, the next thing I want to do is take some of that Dollar Tree just regular craft ribbon. It is wired. You loop it over on itself about 4 times, pinch it in the center. You can take some scissors and cut a tiny little bitty notch right there in the center, and that is going to help you fluff out your bow. Now you cut a notch in each side, but don't cut through your ribbon and don't cut it too big of a notch. Tiny, tiny, tiny. Otherwise your ribbon's going to fall apart. So anyway, you're going to put a little pipe cleaner in the center of that and fasten it to the top of it. And then don't forget to really fluff it out and make it look oh so fabulous. And again, this is looking a little crazy, but we're going to make it all come together. I promise you guys, really fluffing out your tree is kind of the key to all of this. The next thing I did was I took some little poinsettias, and I had also added in a little bit more green tubing to the top as well. As you can see, I want the green base to kind of match the top and then pull it in with the reds and the poinsettias. And then I'm taking some of these little mini poinsettias and I'm going to hot glue them in and around the tree, and boom, we have a fabulous little poinsettia tree, totally on a budget. I hope you guys are inspired to make a little mini tabletop or tree for your own. Again, great centerpieces. I made one of these for my Aunt Janice for her little home last year. There's so many fun ideas that you guys can do with these, and I just hope you guys are inspired and working with this. And again, budget friendly and so fun and fabulous, and a great thing to do with kids because really there wasn't a whole lot of hot gluing on this one as well. Now for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to make a super awesome Dollar Tree jumbo ornament. You're going to take a scarf and cut it to size, and then take another scarf and just wrap it around that kid's bouncy ball or kid's like little ball. Then you take a rubber band at the top of your scarf and just tie it off. Now I didn't have 2 scarves that matched, so I used similar but different patterns, and then I'm just going to trim off the very top here. And then it's super easy to kind of just pull the little edges under. So just take these little edges right here, pull them under, and you can add a tiny dab of hot glue, not too much. You don't want your ball to pop, but this is going to give you an amazing jumbo ornament, you guys. These are so fun and fabulous to make, especially if you decorate with a really large tree. And the other one I've shared with you guys is how to do a jumbo ornament with a scarf, or not a scarf, but a little hat. You guys can do a hat as well. I wanted to give you guys a different option. Now, I decided to take some of this red ribbon and wrap it around to kind of give it like a little bit of a kissing ball effect. So I'm just taking some of this Dollar Tree sparkly red ribbon, wrapping it around the edge, and then tying it off at the top. And I did remove my little hair tie. You guys can see to the side over there. And so I just took it and I ponied it all back together. And then this is where it gets really fun, where you guys can get super creative with it by adding toppers to the top. So I love to add ribbons and bows and greenery. This is some of that Dollar Tree mesh tubing. So it's $1 for this big long thing of mesh tubing. You take the tubing and you just loop it over on itself. So you guys can see it's kind of sloppy. It's not super perfect, but you just loop it over on itself, 6, 8, 10 times until you get a nice full bundle in your hand. Trim that off, and then you can tie it off with a pipe cleaner, another piece of tubing, a piece of ribbon, whatever floats your boat. I think I use pipe cleaners here. But see, that's going to give you like a nice big zhuzhy bow. I also shared with you guys on my last one how to make like a more pretty bow, with just ribbon. You can just add ribbon loops to the top, just really get creative with it. And so I'm just going to do the mesh tubing all the way around. So I'm going to do several different layers and bundles of that. And I also cut some greenery to put some greenery in, because I really kind of want this one to feel a little bit like a kissing ball. Like maybe I could hang it from my dining room chandelier. I do love to have a good kissing ball, either hanging from a doorway or, a chandelier. Who doesn't want a Christmas kiss? Speaking of Christmas kisses, oh my goodness, apparently Hallmark Christmas movies are coming out very soon. So for the secret question for this video, and I love to add a secret question for every single video to give you guys a chance to enter my $100 Hobby Lobby giveaway. What is your favorite Hallmark Christmas movie? And if you don't love the Hallmark Christmas movies, what is your favorite Christmas movie? So you're going to drop a comment down below, and that's going to give you a chance to enter that $100 Hobby Lobby giveaway. I am going to give it away October 31st. So just think about that. And I think that's on Halloween. Kind of crazy to do a Christmas or a Hobby Lobby gift card giveaway on Halloween, but hey, we're going to go for it anyway. Now continue to add more baubles to the top and really get fun with it, creative. And then I did add a cute little bow to the top, and then a peppermint trimmer after that. So I thought this came out really cute and really fancy and really fun. And I'm going to see how long this is going to stay inflated. I know that was a bit of a concern for some people, like because the balls may deflate a little bit. We'll see how it goes, but not the end of the world. It's just a couple bucks. And look at how cute that looks. I think it's going to be gorgeous in one of my large trees. I can't wait to decorate some Christmas trees for Christmas. I hope y'all are loving it and are totally inspired. For this next Dollar Tree DIY, I want to share with you guys how to fancy schmancy up this cute little mirror. So this is just one of those little Dollar Tree mini mirrors. And what I'm going to do is just add some of those little, they're Dollar Tree gems, and they're like the acrylic gems to kind of give it some fancy feet. So this is just a fun idea for how you guys can really doll up a mirror. I go to Bath and Body Works and I see these dolled up mirrors that you can set candles on. I thought, you know what, we're going to do something that's really cheap and budget friendly. So I'm using some of those little Dollar Tree glitter vase fillers, and I'm just going to hot glue them in and around the edge of my mirror. And I will tell you, as I'm doing this, I do wipe like the stringy parts of the glue off. That way it doesn't make a super huge mess and it's hard to get off at the end part. Now to the back of my mirror, I used some of that Dollar Tree vase filler that had the little Santa boots. I thought that would be a fun little addition to this, just kind of getting creative with it and going for it. So you guys have fun with these. There's so many fun little things you can do with all the little Dollar Tree bits and bobs. The vase fillers are great to do. You can use them as vase fillers, or you can just have fun with them like I'm doing. And then you can add a cute little candle to the center. But I really think there's so many ways to get festive for the holidays without spending $30 on a mirror or however much it costs to get some of those fancy mirrors. Just some ideas for you guys on how to be super fun, fabulous on a total budget. And then I had this cute little Dollar Tree candle. Check these out. How adorable is that? Now, I think that's so cute. A great little centerpiece, or just an addition maybe to a bathroom or a small space, a little side table that you guys might want to place out as well. guys so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafty decor adventure. It is a true blessing and an honor to have you all here. If you all are new, welcome. I'm Olivia with Olivia's Romantic Home, and I'm a DIY crafty mama. I love to share with you guys how you can make your home's boutique gorgeous on a budget, and I always encourage you guys to give yourself grace. We're all at a different spot in our crafting and decorating journey, and we're all at a different spot in our life, but everybody is going through something, so always try to have grace and love towards everyone that encounters your space. So if you guys are new, welcome. Go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel. Punch that bell. It will update you every time I post a new video. And for every single one of you that is faithful and comes back and loves on me and watches my videos and recreates all of your fun crafting and decorating, thank you guys so much. I know sometimes some people are just here to press play and to listen to my voice and to feel some joy. So thank you guys for pouring joy into me, because we are all connected and we all just need to love on each other. So if you guys want to love on one another in the comment section or ask for prayer or any of that kind of fun stuff, I have a really great community here. So it is amazing, and I just want to encourage you guys. And also, hey, pop over to my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. I have a free little great group page if you guys are so inspired to craft and decorate it and share photos of your home decor and DIY projects. I see a lot of you guys opening Etsy business and doing YouTube channels, so keep going, you guys. You just never know when something is going to hit or when you guys are just going to absolutely go for it. And again, sharing your gifts is what we're all here to do. So thank you guys again. I can't wait for our next crafting and decorating video. And until then, remember, be kind to yourselves and be kind to one another. We'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye-bye.